exclusive surveillance video of an inmate assaulting another inmate 2 months ago inside Cincinnati's minimum security River City Correctional Center.
River City's executive director says their security chief was also concerned about the threat posed by inmates who were alleged members of a prison gang.
Now, 3 weeks later, 2 inmates escaped from River City. Investigators said one of them took a woman hostage and was killed by police during a 12-hour standoff.
That prompted the WCPO 9 I-Team to investigate River City. Tonight, Chief I-Team reporter Craig Cheatham has new details about violence inside that facility and concerns about some of the inmates who are there. Craig?
Tanya, we filed a public records request for that video. River City's executive director told us he didn't have it and that it wasn't in their system. So we asked him if someone else could have saved it. After that, he said his security chief found it saved on his computer. We blurred the video partly because no one was charged in the incidents. It's 10:45 p.m. on June 17th. Surveillance video shows a black inmate at River City walking into a bathroom followed by 4 white inmates. River City's executive director, Scott McVeigh, says in this report their security chief identified those white inmates as well-known members of the notorious prison gang, Cincinnati White Boys. According to the report, the 5 inmates had an altercation in the bathroom. Minutes later, the same report says the black inmate is seen on surveillance video twice punching one of the same white inmates, knocking him to the ground. The report called the alleged gang members a serious threat to inmates and staff. According to River City records, it was the 4th incident in 2022 that involved inmates in a physical altercation with other inmates or staff inside the minimum security treatment-focused correctional center. McVeigh, who declined to be interviewed, wrote in an email to the I-Team that all inmates involved in those 4 incidents were discharged from the program.
These people aren't trained to be corrections officers that are there, and there's violent people in that building.
Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters says River City isn't equipped or staffed to handle violent offenders. Even though resident supervisors at community-based correctional facilities are required to complete some corrections training, they don't have to be certified corrections officers, which requires additional training that must be completed at an academy.
It's a recipe for disaster.
The I-Team began investigating River City last month after police shot and killed recent River City escapee Thomas Cromwell during a standoff with police at a Mason motel. Warren County Prosecutor David Fornshell said Cromwell held a woman at knife point during the standoff. Court records show Cromwell had been sentenced to prison in 2015 for shooting a man in the chest. Then, after being released, he violated parole by assaulting a baby. After Cromwell served 6 months in jail for assaulting the baby, the Ohio Adult Parole Authority sent him to River City because his crime was also a parole violation.
It's a danger to the community. They're putting people in there that shouldn't be in there.
The I-Team's investigation found River City had at least 20 inmates in July who had violated parole after serving their most recent prison sentences for what law enforcement commonly refers to as violent felonies, crimes that include felonious assault, rape, and aggravated robbery. Those offenders included Christopher Binford, convicted of a 2017 armed robbery at Pleasant Ridge, Chile. After his release from prison 2 years ago, court records show Binford has been convicted of 2 unrelated misdemeanors for making threats. According to one complaint, a woman said in March that Binford threatened to shoot her at her job. Judge Mike Peck sentenced Binford to 90 days and suspended 78 of those days. After that, adult parole sent Binford to River City for violating his parole.
It's a mockery of the system.
There's no evidence that Binford was involved in any of the incidents inside River City. River City is owned by Hamilton County and funded almost entirely by the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction. 9 board members appointed by the county commissioners and the Court of Common Pleas oversee the facility. During a board meeting last month, board members Joe Trouth and Deanna Hoskins responded to a previous I-Team report showing River City admitted offenders convicted of recent violent crimes.
I keep hearing from the press that we admit violent people, and that's not the case.
One of the things about a community-based correctional facility is the individuals sent here pose no threat to public safety in any kind of way, right? That's why community-based correctional facilities exist.
Board member Carla Dreyer said River City's inmate population has changed over the years.
We are getting people that probably would have been sent to prison 10, 15 years ago. Now they're keeping more people in the community. They're not sending as many people to prison.
In a statement, the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections said River City can decline to admit parole violators referred there by the Adult Parole Authority. McVeigh addressed admitting offenders with more serious criminal records during the most recent board meeting.
In a person's past record, while we do look at that, is not indicative of their current charge that may have sent them here.
In an email to the I-Team, McVeigh confirmed that after 10 p.m. on June 17th, River City had only women resident advisors in the facility to supervise the male inmates. He called that unusual, but insisted the female staff de-escalated the situation and prevented more potential confrontations. River City's report didn't mention a series of what appeared to be inmate verbal confrontations after 11 p.m. that night. At times, surveillance video shows inmates walking right past the resident supervisors and appearing to confront other inmates. McVeigh says the facility wasn't required to disclose that in the report it submitted to the Department of Rehabilitation and Correction. In emails to the I-Team, McVeigh said no inmates were charged in the incidents inside River City because victims didn't want to press charges. He says River City has improved security and supervision, and that the facility removed alleged gang members and increased supervision of others to reduce the risk to staff and other inmates. You can see the surveillance video right now on WCPO.com. Tanya?